morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about cross-stitch and crochet and machine knitting and other crafts that I enjoy with a little bit of life thrown in. So today is FlossTube number 295. It's Sunday, August 24th. I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you like what you see. You want to hit like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. And if this is not your first time finding my channel, if you come here every week and spend some time with me, then thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate spending the time with you. So I have to give a big thank you to all of you guys, especially the people who commented last week and everything after I was talking about my, existential crisis with my channel on, is it worth it doing a channel when I'm not doing as much cross-stitch, which is what I started my channel based on, and all that kind of stuff. And I got so many nice comments of people saying, you know what? We love watching what you do. We love watching you. So just keep doing what you're doing and don't worry about it. And I really appreciate that because I do love doing the videos. I mean, I feel like I could come on here and just talk and not show anything. I don't know how enjoyable that would be, but anyway. So thank you for letting me kind of do my own thing. I have a feeling that today is going to be fairly a quick video. I don't have a lot to show you. On top of that, let's see, Lorraine went to her meeting today and she should be back soon, as I want to kind of get done before somebody comes in the house. It's not like anything against her or anything that she does. It's just, I don't know. I always thought it was weird when people were doing videos and they would be all uncomfortable because their family was in the house, and I'd be like, what's the difference? And now I understand, because it just feels weird to be doing a video when there's somebody there who could walk past or walk in or talk to you or that kind of thing. So anyway, so the big issue this week has been that it is just too darn hot. We are in the hottest part of our year here in Southern California. The end of August, beginning of September is definitely our hottest time, and we are having extreme heat warnings, it seems like every other day. So where I live, which is, 10 degrees cooler, it's been high 80s to high 90s. It's definitely been high 90s every day where I work in Fullerton. It's just uncomfortable. And I feel like that I'm a broken record because I know I was saying this exact thing last summer. It's not even so much how hot it gets during the day, but it's the fact that it doesn't cool off enough at night. And my room's probably the hottest room in the house, so it's just uncomfortable at night, and I don't sleep well. And I mean, you can see I am a sweaty mess right now, and it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. I have 2 fans going, and I still, I have an overhead fan and then a tower fan, and I still am a big sweaty mess. And I just, driving home, granted I have fantastic air conditioning in my car, but by the time I get home after a full day working, and then it's hot and sticky, and I get home and it's just I had several days this week where I did nothing. I was a couch potato, and then I lay on my bed and watched TV and tried to fall asleep, and slept fitfully, kept waking up sweaty. I'm just uncomfortable. Sorry, probably cat hair in my face. And it's just hard to want to work on anything. Yarn, thread, anything is I don't want to touch anything. I feel wet and sticky. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is it's I don't feel like I'm cool and dry at all ever, So, I mean, this is just something to get through. It's the time of year that we have to live with. And, I do find that as I've gotten older, I like the heat less and less and less. So it is what it is. So I didn't work on a lot this week just because I was uncomfortable a lot of the week and just worn out, kind of exhausted. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. My blinds, I'm gonna have to get some new blinds soon. You can see that they're not in a good shape right now. In fact, I opened that window to get just a little bit more natural light for the video, but I've been keeping the shades down because it keeps it a little bit cooler in here. And Delilah doesn't like that during the day when she, if I forget to put them up, she'll go and she'll meow at Lorraine until Lorraine comes in here and opens them. And I told Friday, I was like, I'm leaving these down on purpose because it was supposed to be really hot Friday. And I'm like, if she yells at you, just tell her no. So, yeah, because she likes to be able to lay there and look out. I have this window right here cracked like this much and with a lock. So, but it's right where she can lay and stick her head out and get the fresh air. And she loves that, but she also likes to be able to look out. And so she's probably annoyed with me that I keep not opening the blinds, but it's hot. It's hot and sticky in here, and you know, we don't have central air or anything like that, and truly it's not even necessary like 95% of the time, but we're in those few weeks or a month where it will be uncomfortable, and this past week definitely it has been. Actually 2 weeks, but last week was worse. Okay, so enough complaining and everything about the heat, but that is my reality right now. And until it gets better, which doesn't look like it's going to next week or possibly the week after either, my output of crafts is probably going to be quite limited. But I do have 3 things to show you that I am pretty happy about. So I did actually do cross stitch this week, and I worked on my Joan Elliott Sweet Pea Fairy. I came into my room and I was like relaxing, and I'm like, you know, she's all zen and calm. Maybe it'll make me feel cooler to work on her. So I pulled her out. It was very weird. I feel like I haven't done cross stitch in a long time, and it hasn't really been that long, but I don't know. It was weird. It felt like it was a new craft or something. But I was bound and determined to get finished with this wing, and I didn't quite. So those like little section that has to be filled in with this sagey color. I might do that this afternoon just to get the wing done. But I just love her. So she does make me feel calm and serene. So I did her skin. This is I don't know what count on here. This is a 32 count, and I did the skin 2/110, which is now my preferred method for pretty lady skin. I do like the way it looks to have the smaller stitches for the skin, but I like doing 2/110. That allows me to do blends if there are blends, and it's faster, and it just is easier on my eyes to try and do tent stitch for when it's that tiny. So, and I love the way it looks. So that was the cross stitch I worked on this week. And then crochet, I pulled out the granny square cardigan that I started, which is, you know, this big. So not so much a cardigan yet as a little blob, but you know, the way a granny square cardigan works. No, a hexagon cardigan. Hexagranny, whatever. It's a 6-sided granny hexagon, and then when you fold it, it makes the side and sleeve. So basically you just make this until it's big enough, and then you can add stitches in the back. You can add stitches around the arm depending on how long you want it, add stitches around the bottom, but this is the basic thing. And I'm doing this using a Corona Simply Soft in the color Rose Garden. So I just think the color is really pretty. Just the greens and then the pink and sort of a peachy color. I mean, they all just blend into each other really nicely, as you can see. I think it's gonna make a really pretty sweater. And hopefully I'll have it done in time to wear it when it gets cooler this fall, winter. So I actually was using two different hooks on it last night. I pulled out, because I'm using a 4.5, and I had a different hook, and I'm like, why am I using this one? I don't like it. So I pulled out my metal. These are just metal cheap hooks. I don't think that they're any good brand. Like, they're not Boy or anything like that. They're just from Amazon, but they work perfectly well, and they're nice and smooth. And then I put this handle on it to make it more comfortable, and I was using this. And the yarn, I love this yarn, but it can be very splitty, and I was kind of getting a little frustrated with that. And when I went to go put this away, I saw that I had pulled out my prim, because I haven't worked on this in quite a while, and so I had the prim in 4.5, and I decided to try and work on with this one for a couple rounds and see. And actually, I think I might like this hook better with this yarn, because it is the plastic, and it does drag on the acrylic a little bit, but it drags in a way that makes it less splitty, if that makes sense. It's a pointier head. Like this part right here is a little pointier. And I don't know the terms, but the little hook part is a little bit like, I don't know, tighter, whatever. I think whatever it is, this is maybe making it a little bit easier to crochet with this yarn. So I don't know, I'll have to keep experimenting, but I was enjoying using this last night. And it's comfortable to hold. It's not, as big a grip as this, but I could also add something to this if I really needed to, but I was enjoying using this prim. So we will keep going with that. And then, last but not least, hi, miss. You want to come up here and say hi to the people? Delilah, you want to say hi? You have to come up where they can see you. There she goes. Oh, no. She got to finish more of her breakfast, I guess. She doesn't care about you guys. What can I say? Okay, so then the thing that I worked on most last week, which I put in this little bag that I got from Bonnie, my friend, for my birthday. It was sitting here, the bag was sitting here, I hadn't done anything yet, and I was working on this project, and I was like, hey, that would be perfect. So, yep. This is my second, knitting machine project, and I am doing it using Hobie Universe XL yarn. Now, there's no names on here, but I believe on the Hobie site this is called Galactica. I want to say it's called Galactica or Galaxy, but I'm not 100% sure now. I really like it, so much so that I went on to Hobie and I bought some more yarn. It's so beautiful. Anyway, so I showed you guys the pieces of this. I was able to put it all together, and I'm attached to two separate balls now, so I was able to put it together. I think it's gonna be really cute. I did realize once I put it together that I was maybe a little bit wrong about the length, as far as, this middle paddle I did 50 rows, and then the side panels I did 25 rows. 75. So that part, the ratio from the shoulder to the neckline is fine, but I should have probably added another 25 to 50 rows probably 25 rows at the bottom, because it ended up being quite a bit more cropped than anything that I would ever wear, which just means that when I go and do the crochet banding, I need to make it thicker. So I did a little bit of the banding at the top here, just because it was really floppy and it was bugging me, and I wanted to see what it would look like, you know, when it was a little bit more the way it's supposed to be. So I think I might do maybe one more row. I'm doing a linen stitch or a moss stitch for the banding. I just thought that would be kind of fun and add a little texture. So this I think is just 2 rows. I might do another row of linen stitch, and then I'm thinking about doing a picot, so we'll see how that looks. And then at the bottom, so far my banding is like that wide, and I think I need to have it like maybe that much more. So again, this is a moss stitch or linen stitch that I'm crocheting around the bottom band. And then I'm going to do it around the sleeves as well, but probably just 1 or 2 rows. And then again, I think I'm going to do a picot around everything. You know, I'm just like making it up as I go, actually, which I kind of like. So this shape, or what I did for this particular top, is I did a center panel for the front, and then 2 side panels for the front to make the neckline. I did tubes for the sleeves, which the size of my arms, I mean, it fits, but it just fits. So if I want any kind of more voluminous sleeve, I'm gonna have to do panels and piece together, more than one piece. And then in the back, I just did two rectangles. You know, two panels. I like the way the front came together a little bit more as far as the color. I wish, again, you know, as I do these things, I'm learning, right? And I like it being a little bit more color matched. I don't hate it not being color matched, but I like it a little bit more when it is. So now I know when I have a yarn like this, if I can figure out how to kind of color match the panels, that I might like that a little bit better. I was watching a video that showed how on the Centro to do increases. So I kind of have an idea in my head of doing a sort of a tank top with a strap and a shaped neckline, which I want to try next. And I'm thinking if that works, then I could kind of do very similar to this to make like a jacket to go over with, to make like a 2-piece set. So that's in my mind as maybe the next thing I will do. I want to get this one finished first. Now this is 100% acrylic, so it is going to kind of be probably a little bit too hot to wear right now. But I'm excited to get it done so I can at least try it. I think it's really pretty. I just like it. And so far, you know, now granted, I've talked about how like I get an idea in my head of something and how it's going to look, and then, you know, I do the garment and I try it on and it's like, you know, it's okay. Which I think a lot of times has more to do with my body image than it does the actual garment itself. But I did try this on and it fits. I think it's going to look good in the bust. So yeah, I am happy with it. Again, I kind of like how this side looks a little bit more than this side just because of the color matching. But it's not bad, and it's acceptable, and yeah, I like it. The Universe XL yarn has a metallic thread running through it. This one happens to be gold. I think in other colors, the metallic thread actually matches the color. So I did get another XL yarn that's on its way, and I got some regular Universe yarn, which is even finer than this. But I also downloaded a free pattern from Hobby. Well, actually 2 free patterns of using the universe yarn. So I thought that was really cute. So I think I got the regular universe yarn, which happened to be on sale, to make this with. And then this one is a little bit harder or more difficult of a pattern. So I have no plans to make that right away, but I did download it because it was free. And I was ordering yarn anyway. And then I think I got, I can't remember. I got Universe XL, some more Universe XL, I think. But I can't remember if I got like the Halloween one that was on sale, or I don't remember. Anyway, that is where I am on this top. So I do want to get this done quicker, sooner rather than later, hopefully this week. If I do get it done, then maybe I'll be wearing it next week in my video. You will know, obviously, if I got it done by the fact as if I'm wearing it or not. So that is all I worked on this week. Again, I had several days where I was nothing but a couch potato because I was so hot. And I don't have any haul this week. You know, I did order, as I said, I ordered a little bit of yarn and it hasn't come in yet. So I will show it to you when it does. I haven't gotten any tools or tchotchkes or anything like that for any of my crafts. Yeah. So I don't really have any haul to show you, and I don't have any specific plans, just to kind of try and keep cool and keep going on the things that I've been working on. My only immediate plan is I have this big pile of scrap yarn. I do use scrap yarn the beginning and end of my panels and tubes on the knitting machine. I think it is 100% the way to go, because yeah, it's too hard to not, I mean, if you're doing like a hat and you're gonna gather and pull all of the, you know, the tube together anyway, you could do it without the scrap yarn, but you're most likely to have problems at the beginning of starting something. So if you're gonna have a problem, I'd rather have the problem with the scrap yarn than the kid yarn. But you know, and you can use the scrap yarn over and over again, but then when it happens is I end up with a big pile like this. You know, there were seven pieces in the top, so I had 7 beginnings and ends that got pulled off that have to be rewound into little cakes. Because it works much better like that. But I did get this little very inexpensive ball winder. It doesn't make huge balls. It only makes ones that are cakes that are like that big, but it works really well. And it works really well, and it's kind of fun to do. So I have to wind all this stuff up so I'm prepared for my next project. And then, you know, I don't know exactly what I'll be working on today. I don't know if I'm going to pull out my knitting machine. I kind of want to, just to do something, but I don't have any specific plan in mind. I have all of this, the Blossom Cakes yarn that I got, and I'm working on 2 projects that I'm crocheting with this, but I wanted to try and see if it works on the knitting machine. It's a little fuzzy, so I don't know if it will, and it's a 4, which should work. 3 has been really great, 4 has worked, and even the 5, the Scarfy yarn, has worked on the knitting machine. So I am curious to see if this would work. So maybe I'll try and do a panel of and do the increases and see if that works. Yeah, so I did watch a video, and the person very cleverly used just like a little piece of painter's tape to keep moving on the machine to kind of guide the increases and not mess it up. And I thought that was a pretty smart thing to do. So I'm intrigued to try that. I know some of you guys have said to show the knitting machine, show using it, and eventually I think I would like to do that, but I just don't feel like I'm proficient enough on it yet to, do something that somebody might think is a tutorial, because it's, it won't be a tutorial, it'll just be kind of a demonstration. But even so, I think I need to be careful about demonstrating when I'm a rank beginner. So anyway, so that is basically it. No real plans, trying to stay cool, working on whatever I feel like working on. So I hope, it's a very short video today. I hope you guys have a good week. You know, I know I'm complaining about the heat. I know it's been really hot in other places in the country and hurricanes and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I know I'm complaining and there's probably people that have it way worse than me, but you know, it is what it is. Delilah, what are you doing? You look like you're getting in trouble. Come here. Come here. Come say goodbye. Come here. Come here. I can see her down the hall. My door is right opposite my desk here. And she's down the hall and she's looking when she wants to jump on something that she shouldn't jump on. So I just called her and she's looking at me like, what? What do you want? She learned how to get up on the high boy today where our TV is in the living room. Not today, this week. So she's been jumping up there while watching TV and like spreading herself out in front of the TV like she's the queen and everybody's looking at her rather than looking at the TV. Yeah. She's a panic, let me tell you. Okay, so that's about it for today. Again, thank you so much, you guys, for sticking with me and giving me encouragement in all that I do. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.